Hello and welcome to The Gist. I'm your host, Chris Petrano, here to break down all the things in pop culture and interviewing the people that make it pop. And today's show, I'm back. That's right. I am back after a couple of weeks. We took a couple of weeks off in June. It's Pride Month, a lot to celebrate, a lot going on. And so I liked to take a little bit of time off, but really I wanted to also take some time off to retool some things for the podcast. And so that's why I'm here today, is to drop into your feed, say what's up, and share some new details about the podcast. We're releasing this on our regular Thursday schedule just to give you all the new exclusive details. And of course, while I'm here, we're going to talk about that JT arrest, okay? Because I almost had to come off of my pause, and I was like, Dorinda, I was like, put me off pause. I'm ready to go back. I am ready to talk about the JT arrest because, wow, a lot going on there. So before we get there, just the details of some of the changes that you're going to see around here. We're going to spruce up the joint. You know what I'm saying? And so starting in July, The Gist is moving to bi-weekly episodes on Tuesdays. Okay. And that's starting in July, which means that in just a few short days, you're getting a new, might I say, fucking amazing interview that is going to drop into your feeds. My guest, guys, I have been trying to get her for several years, basically since I started the podcast. A little teaser. She's got one of the songs of the summer, in my opinion. And yeah, I've got her. She's going to blow your minds. Okay. It's such a fun, exciting interview. And that is dropping in just a couple of short days to kick off our brand new schedule, which is that we're going to be in your feeds on Tuesdays. So if you follow or you subscribe already, you don't have to do anything. We will just show up in your feeds on Tuesdays instead of Thursdays moving forward. And if you don't subscribe and follow, make sure you do now, because you're not going to want to miss all that we have to come. And then, I will still from time to time drop in when news breaks that's so juicy, I just have to give you the gist. But our regular schedule will be bi-weekly on Tuesdays. And then on the off weeks, we will sometimes have some fun things going on. And then bi-weekly, the reason that we're doing our regular episodes bi-weekly now is that it gives you more time to listen to the episodes. I was getting some feedback from my friends and from some of all of you listening. And I just had asked, what's going well? What isn't working? What have been some of your favorite episodes recently? And something that I noticed is that people have a few episodes in the queue. And they were like, yeah, I'm still on this episode and I'm loving, but I haven't gotten to this other interview. I can't wait to get there. And so giving you a couple more weeks to actually listen to the full episodes just allows you to be ready for when the next episode drops. And so giving you a little bit more time to do that. Also, the bi-weekly episodes will be mostly interview format. So bringing you the best pop culture, past, present, and future in my guests. Because while I love sharing my thoughts on pop culture's biggest moments with you, it is way more fun when I've got friends along. If you haven't heard me and Jim Ferraros on our last episode talk about all things pop culture, we talked about hacks and summer music. And I mean, it's just more fun when I've got friends to do it with. And so we're going to be doing that. Plus, guys, I'm in my Barbara Walters era, okay? I love bringing out the best in other people. I love giving a voice to a story that either inspired me or that I think will inspire all of you. And, I really want the gist to be about that. And so that's going to be the primary format for the bi-weekly episodes. And then, like I said, on the off weeks, we may have some fun breaking style news here and there. Of course, I know that you guys love the Bravo episodes. I'm hearing the feedback. You guys want to hear more of my thoughts on Bravo. But also, let's be real. Bravo's not giving a lot right now. We don't have a lot of housewives on. They're really light in their scheduling. We used to have 3 housewives going at once with all of our other shows, the summer houses, the winter houses, the Vanderpumps, the Valley, with all of these shows. And they're really they've really kind of lightened the schedule. And I think they're doing it intentionally, but there's just also not as much to talk about right now. So it kind of works out. But lastly, it doesn't stop at the podcast, okay? Because guys, we are getting social. Yep, that's right. At the Gist, we're getting social because after some of you started some hilarious conversations in my feed on TikTok and Instagram, especially about the JT arrest. And then I posted something about Katy Perry's new single and her working with Dr. Luke. And wow, you guys have some thoughts. And I was loving it. I was just like, I thought it was so fun to engage with all of you. Some of you slid into the DMs and we had some hilarious conversations. Some of us like just went in on the comments and I was living for it. And so I'll be bringing you some of the pop culture stories, snippets, and news to my social platforms. And I might make an ass of myself there, but you got to help me spill the tea. Okay. So find me on TikTok and Instagram. That's where I'll be doing most of this. I'm at CM the Toronto, my first initial, my middle initial, and my last name, CMVETRANO. And once you're there, find your favorite post. And it can be any of them, right? You can go into the archives if you want and drop your handle in the comments and then name your favorite pop culture icon in all caps. If I see that you name, Harry Styles in all caps, I know that it will be so random, but let's start talking about pop culture on all platforms. And then I'm going to make sure that I follow you guys so that we get going, that we create this community of pop culture fanatics, and that I know how to find you and you know how to find me, and we can stay connected that way. So this is the updated format. This is the updated schedule. And like I said, in just a few days, we're bringing you this episode on our regular Thursday, but our new Tuesday schedule starts just next week. So I'm so excited. July 2nd, very exciting interview episode to kick off our brand new sort of reimagined version of The Gist. So now that that's out of the way, let's dive into the mugshot scene around the world. Okay, I have been so excited to take to the microphone for this because on June 18th, Justin Timberlake was arrested and arraigned later that day in Sag Harbor, Long Island, New York. Okay, wow. I mean, it still gives me chills because I never want to see anyone down. Okay, I never want to see anything bad happen to anyone, but I'm sorry when you have been unapologetically and like smirking and doing these like tongue-in-cheek things to really kind of badmouth people in the press and your shows, and rather than just take accountability for some of the things that he had done wrong with Janet and of course Britney, it just feels like karma, doesn't it? And as Justin says, what goes around comes around. It really feels this way. And so let's just kind of break down what happened. So on June 17th, Justin was hanging with some friends at the American Hotel, a boutique hotel. People said that he seemed tipsy, and when leaving, he revved his engine a few times, really had to make a scene. And after failing to stop at a duly posted stop sign and also failing to stay in his lane, he was pulled over, as you do, right? I mean, come on, if you don't stop at those stop signs and you're just weaving all over the road, you might get stopped. And he did. And so it was asserted that he was operating the vehicle intoxicated, that his eyes were bloodshot and glassy. There was a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage from his breath. And he was unable to divide attention. He had slowed speech. He was unsteady of foot, and he performed poorly on all standardized field sobriety tests. Okay. So after all of that, he was in fact arrested in handcuffs. We've seen the photos. When he got to the station, he refused 3 attempts to test for alcohol, claiming that he had only 1 martini with his friends and that he refused to take any kind of chemical testing. And later he was actually released, and he has a court date on July 26th to discuss the 3 charges brought against him. And I assume those 3 charges are 1 for Britney, 1 for Janet, and 1, of course, for failing to give us the NSYNC reunion that we were promised. Yeah. So guilty, but a lot of people, okay, so then this is what was crazy. Of course, the mugshot came out. It was released. He had the charge with the DWI. He had glossy red eyes. I thought people say that he looked like somber. I thought that he almost kind of had a little bit of a smirk on his face. Like he was like, yeah, try me. I don't know. It's crazy. But then all the conspiracy theories started running wild. That was like, if you're a multimillionaire with a poor selling tour, is it easier to pay $10,000 to get off of a DWI than it is to cancel a tour and lose millions? Or could you pay the $10,000, cancel the tour because you need to focus on yourself? So all these conspiracy theories started about that this was all like planned in an attempt to give him a storyline that would essentially let him cancel the tour because he's not doing as well as they had hoped. Hello, where was NSYNC? Okay, just say it again. I'm just saying if JC was on the tour, sold out. But yeah, we I guess are debunking that theory because he did continue his tour. At his Chicago show, he had said he addressed the arrest, saying, "We've been together through ups and downs and left and rights, and it's been a tough week." He says, "But you're here, I'm here. I know sometimes I'm hard to love, but you keep on loving me, and I love you right back. Thank you so much." And then he wiped some tears away, and I've got to say, cry me a river, okay? Because the other thing that we found, and this is where you guys went wild on my social platforms, especially on TikTok, I posted this video that when JT was accepting an award many years ago, it was like right after his breakup with Britney, he accepted an award. He wasn't there, but he had like sent in a video clip and basically used, rather than accepting the award, he used the platform to say, stop drinking. You know who you are. Stop drinking. You're going to make an idiot of yourself. OK Magazine is going to write like crazy stories about you. So he puts Britney on blast about her drinking and tells her to stop. And you know who hasn't had a DWI or a DUI for that matter? Britney Spears. Okay. So again, this all feels very karma. Everyone was tearing him to shreds in the comments. I did also get people that were like, why are you guys trying to kick him while he's down? Look, no one's trying to kick him while he's down. It's just that sometimes when people don't take accountability and accountability comes to them, it's just kind of too delicious, isn't it? And so, you know, that's it. That's the gist of it. On July 26th, we will find out his fate. His PR team is working overtime. They have now, you know that bartender that served him the drink signed an NDA. So the fact that now the stories are coming out, that is, the bartender at the hotel confirms he only served Justin Timberlake one martini. It's like, okay, well, this all feels like team too much. Like we know that like this story is now being planted. This bartender's being paid to like give that statement. But maybe he will get off. Maybe he will do something and he will get off. And once again, no justice will be served. But we shall see July 26th. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And I want to continue. I still have the clip up on my TikTok and on my Instagram reels. So go check it out and drop your thoughts in the comments, because the video is kind of wild to watch it. And then, to have it followed up with him in handcuffs, it does kind of just feel good. Sorry I said it. But that's the gist of it. Again, this is our final Thursday episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget, if you're not already, hit that subscribe or follow button so that you don't miss our all new episode, which is just coming out on Tuesday. And then, of course, you can find me on socials at CM Vetrano, and we will kiki there. You know what I'm saying? But until then, bye.